COD Champs is like, it's like the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals or the World Cup, but for Call of Duty. That's our thing. That's where we get to say that like we're the best at what we do, because you play against everyone. You know, we play against people from Europe, Australia, everywhere around the world.
Every year there's another one or a different title, and every single year there's another Call of Duty championship. So, you know, the whole entire year is kind of insignificant compared to Call of Duty championships. So everyone's really looking at who wins those events and not really who wins the smaller ones.
But why is it that important? Why is it missing? Because it is. Without Worlds, without Call of Duty World Championships, you cannot consider your best. You can win 0 events, okay, the entire year, have a fluke tournament, win it, and you'll be considered a world champion. And as such, nobody else can claim that right, which means that you're gonna go into the next game as a world champion. So
the AW Champs was really unfortunate. I think that we had a really strong teams in terms of you know, competition at the time, like our team stacking up versus other teams, and we just made a simple mistake of, you know, pre-landing teams that, you know, weren't necessarily at the top at the time. So essentially, like, we almost made ourselves worse by playing teams that aren't at, you know, that highest caliber. And I think that, you know, that goes for pretty much all sports in general, that you want to play someone that challenges you, and you want to play, you know, someone that gives you an opportunity to improve. And if you're not in that situation, then what are you doing? So that's kind of what I think, that's kind of what happened at AW Champs.
Even after we played at the OpTic house, Scrim and OpTic and TK, I thought there's no way they lose. No way OpTic loses. They're 100% winning. And obviously that didn't happen.
We've been winning consistently. We show up and we just play 7th, a disgusting 7th. It kind of ruined the mood of the team for a couple of weeks there, and eventually Nate decided to retire, step down, and that's when the GOAT was brought up from the trenches.
Nate kind of came to us and said, you know, he doesn't want to play anymore, which, you know, completely fine. That AW Champs loss was very, very heartbreaking, especially winning the 3 events prior. It was just kind of, it was almost like borderline depressing, just because, you know, that I felt like we should have won that. Like, we had a better chance at AW Champs than we did at Black Ops 3 Champs. But anyways, so OpTic actually had 2 teams at the time. One was OpTic Gaming, which was us, and then another which was OpTic Nation. And on OpTic Nation, I think it was like Killa, Miracles, Karma, and TP. And we actually, after, you know, we talked to Nade, it was pretty much everyone knew we were gonna pick up Karma.
Nade ended up leaving the team, and then one day, you know, Hector messaged me and he was like, this is the time. I was on OpTic Nation for, I think at that point it might have been like almost a year, and you know, I didn't really know that Nade was gonna leave, but Hector, he really wanted me to stay on the team. Like, there were a couple times where I was just like I need to have these players with me, or I need to do something else. And he just kept telling me to stick it out.
And what this did is that it set this tone for the following year, for the Black Ops 3 season. It set this tone that nothing mattered. Nothing. We would win championship, MLGs, we would win tournaments nonstop in Black Ops 3. But it was a weird mood. Nobody was happy about it. I mean, they were okay with it, but nobody celebrated the way that you should celebrate when you win a championship. Okay, and as I sit here looking at the trophies that we won during Black Ops 3, it was just, we had such an all-star team that they knew that the only thing they had to win that year was champs.
I think what I was more worried about was going to that champs with Ban and Protect, knowing that there's no way we could have scrimmed anything that we're about to play. Like, there was no way. No, everyone got pissed when you banned stuff that they didn't like, or they wanted to use in scrims. Then we got to champs, and like, you're seeing every AR band, you're seeing every sub band, you're seeing like no blast suppressor, you're seeing no flak jacket. Like, the amount of variables that were in place there, like going against teams that know they're not better than you, like we played everything. I think we played with high caliber every series at champs.
If you're playing a lower tier team and the lower tier team says, you know, we have no chance of beating them at their game, so we're gonna try to make it as random as possible. And I think that's what actually happened was a very, very odd event. And, you know, I'm so glad Ban and Protect is gone because, you know, I mean, I guess it creates variety, but it's a pain.
As I look back at the Black Ops 3 season and us falling short again, getting 7th again, it was one of the toughest losses ever because, again, the entire year, all the hard work we had done, the entire year, every tournament that we had won meant nothing to these dudes. All that hard work, all the practice hours, time after time, just one, getting on each other's nerves at times, fighting with each other, coming back together, like having this such strong bond between them, right? They've gone through hell and back only to be sent back to the depths of that because of that loss. And I remember just sitting there watching and I just remember the sigh of the crowd around me and then the loudness that was happening like over there. And I just grabbed my hands, I put them on my face, and I was so disappointed that I didn't want to escape the little universe that I had created with my palms. I wanted to live there. I didn't want to live in the reality that it was, that we had once again come up short.
After we lost in Black Ops 3, I don't think any of us like talked to each other for a long time. And, you know, it was just really, really weird. I'm surprised we stuck together.
I think it just taught us, at least as a team, what I think it just taught us that we have to play as a team. Everybody wanted to do everything and wanted to learn. Like, everyone wanted to get better. It was like the best improvement I think we've ever made as a team, was going into IW champs. It doesn't matter what game we're playing, what gun you have. If you're in a position, you have to go pick something up. It might not be favorable, but if you can do it, you got to do it. And that's pretty much what we did. You know, like, we just played as a team. We got better and played with teamwork rather than our skill.
So our main goal wasn't actually champs, it was to win this season 2 event. Because I feel like when you have back-to-back events, that, like, I'm talking like a week or two in between, that, you know, that momentum that, you know, hey, we just smoked everyone at this last tournament, that momentum carries over to the next tournament, whether it's, you know, complete random tournament, important tournament, or, you know, it doesn't matter. It just always will carry over. So our main goal was actually to be the best team we could be for season 2, pool play, because we actually had the hardest pool. So that was our whole goal, was just, you know, qualify, just take it step at a time. So qualify, win season 2, win champs.
So we won 3. Okay, we won 3 championships, and everybody else didn't win more than one. So any team that won a championship that year didn't win more than one. We were the only team that did that. So yes, again, for the 3rd year in a row, we proved that we were the most consistent, the winningest team throughout the entire season, and all we had to do was win Call of Duty World Champs. So we headed out to the Amway Center where the Orlando Magic play, and it was one of the most lit places I've ever been. The green wall showed up in spades. I am talking about a sea of green.
It's a real big sigh of relief, especially after coming back from loser's bracket to win 2 series in a row. You know, I think that how we won, the way we won, was just a testament to how strong a team can be if they stay together.
It's crazy because, like, we might be remembered forever as long as Call of Duty goes on, competitively at least. A lot of people got to see it.
You know, it's really easy for people to compare the past to the present, whether or not Farico was better, or whether or not Complexity was better, or whether, you know, the team that we have now, or the Aches, TP, Crim6, and Clay / Karma was the best team ever. And it was really easy for everybody to say, well, they don't have a championship. OpTic doesn't have a world championship, so they can't be the best. But if this little thing was the one thing that was getting in the way, this little huge thing, then all we had to do was win it. And this year we did.
It's like the most prestigious thing you can, I guess, have or get in Call of Duty. Like I said at the beginning, it's like our Super Bowl. It's like just winning that and knowing that you're the best, like you're flat out the best. It's the last thing you play for in the year. It's the end of the game, and after that tournament, like no one else can say they're the best. On Impact, our teamwork was unmatched. Ghost, our teamwork, I mean, everyone says that was the best team of all time. But like I said, our teamwork was insane. Like, we didn't have lesser players on those teams, but with this team, we have like 4 people who would be a star on any team. And you put them all together, and they all want to do the same thing. You all want to get the kills. You all want to get the highlight feeds. And like I said, as long as we can accept that we can't all do that, and we just have to let it come and play as a team, like, it's going to happen. We're all going to have our moments. And I think that's like the only thing that I would say would like hinder us from being considered the best team. And I think Boots, you know, World War II is probably the best game to like prove that we're the best.
Keep it